Hello folks, and welcome to another pump and dump market analysis. Some people say Bitcoin, it doesn't matter, but at the end of the day it's the same result. It's pump and dump at the moment. However, we will see what's going to happen today. Very exciting trading day, and I will trade today for sure. I have even an open position right now. I longed here at 23,700. That was at least my long order. They triggered it. So now I need to pray a little bit. No, I don't think so. I think we are not done. I think we will go up. I don't think we will go down straight from here, to be honest. Of course, we need to see, because we know I have tweeted some informations today that we have received 16,000 bitcoins to spot exchanges. That's a lot. So if they press the button, we would go straight to the downside. So we need to see. However, today we will skip the new chapter I have introduced yesterday, because I don't have anything to say today. Just everything like yesterday, nothing have changed. The only thing that I'm noticing is that even the mainstream media, mainly by Bloomberg, is flipping again. They were bullish just a few weeks ago, indicating and just quoting traders and whatever, bear market is done, bull market is coming. Then they have started to share some articles like, a bigger correction could happen on stock market soon. And they started also to bring some other kind of articles that it's indicating a little bit that they are flipping a little bit to bearish again. So also indicating us something is going to happen very soon. I have warned why I'm not trading big volume anymore. I have said I don't trust the whole fake rally, the whole whatever you want to call, full rally, fake rally, bear market rally. It doesn't matter. For me, it was clear without any bigger accumulation, and they didn't accumulate. I have showed you many times that this is not a healthy bull run, rally, whatever. It will take a little bit of time. I don't think that we are going to nuke straight to the downside today. It will take a little bit, but I'm still convinced, and I'm going to short the whole thing. Unfortunately, not with big volume. I would like to do that. And the only way to do that on a way where I would say it's regulated and it would make sense is, for example, using BT or BITO. I think that's the bullish ETF. So the long ETF, and we have the bearish, the put ETF. That's BT. That's a new asset where you can just make your bet, buy BT shares that just benefits when the price of Bitcoin declines. So that will be maybe for me a good way to trade with big volume, to be honest. Otherwise, I will maintain with low volume and check a little bit the leverage and adjust a little bit the leverage. That's something we need to see. However, let us go forward and check what Bitcoin could do next. I would expect, even if it looks like that bears are just pushing more to the downside at the moment, I still think that, and you see here this cluster of buy orders, they are trying to prevent right now to let the price go down. So my expectation still, I have a tiny stop loss at 23,600. So in case they really want to push to the downside, it will trigger it, and then I need to wait to have a retest of that area so I can short afterwards. But that's something, let us see what's going to happen next. In my opinion, we should go up again to 24k, and maybe, because that's what I would expect, a bull trap before the dump. And that's something that Bitcoin loves to do, and I don't think they will miss it. So however, let us go forward and check what the Wales ratio is doing. First of all, the Wales ratio 30 days moving average didn't change a lot. It declined even more, as you can see, since yesterday, indicating that whales are not more sending bigger amounts. I mean, we know that's not up to date, because that's the daily resolution, indicating it's showing us the status until yesterday. So those 16,000 bitcoins from entities are not illustrated here. However, but it's indicating that the whales are sending less bitcoins to centralized exchanges. And you know that the whales ratio is a sentiment indicator, it's a trend indicator. And you know, I mean, when it's lifting up in that way, that means preparation. Doesn't mean they want to nuke just close afterwards. It is just preparation. They are sending bitcoins to spot exchanges to prepare their next bearish price action. And well, you know, I mean, if you're following me, you know exactly that I was at least here or here expecting an impact to the price action, and instead we lifted even more. Maybe it comes now with delay. I don't know. We will see. Let us go forward and check what's happening here. First of all, weights ratio at the moment in 1 hour time frame at 91. That's nice. But at the same time, we can see 1, 2. At the moment, they let the price go a little bit more up, it seems. At least that's what they are preparing. So something we should have in mind, and that's also why I placed just at 23,700. I think I have mentioned that even yesterday. 23,700 would be the next bounce area before we go up again to retest upper levels. In my opinion, we will not miss to go up before we go even more down, but we will see. However, at the moment, 91, indicating that some activity is coming in. And if we check, for example, the Wales ratio 30 hours moving average, lifted up, declined, lifted up, declined, lifted up. It's hitting 90. I have said yesterday, everything at 90 or above is critical, because then it's indicating it's not even at 90 yet. It's indicating whales are sending bitcoins to spot exchanges, and even then it would give us the signal we are very close to a dump, for example. Every time when that happens, for example, if we check, for example, here, we can see that was the top, afterwards we dumped, right? It didn't happen here, for example, so it's not always the case. Sometimes we dump without that the Wales ratio 30 hours moving average went up to 90, but this is for me sometimes a confirmation where I say, okay, whales sentiment looks bearish, so it matched. Let's go. However, let us go forward. Stablecoin supply, not good at all. It's declining. Even if we have noticing some tethers minting again, but in general, the total, so the net flow of all stablecoins maintains negative. It's declining. It has stabilized just since this morning, it seems. It lifted up a little bit, but that's it. At the same time, if we check, for example, the stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges, we can see it declined. And here, that's something I have noticed on Whale Alert as well, because I was noticing bigger outflows. So whales selling, taking out some money. We will check that. I think we can. No, we can't. We can check that with derivative exchanges. Something we will check directly after the next chapter. And here we go. Inflow activity. What happened here? Well, I have tweeted today about the activity. First of all, I would like to say thanks to all those followers tracking all my data, because the first thing what I do in the morning when I wake up is check my Twitter account, and then I have noticed some people just saying, hey Inspo, take a look to that. It seems the market maker was active and sent just 16,000 bitcoins to spot exchanges. So the first thing I did, of course, is to go to my computer and check that, and I verified that it was entity. We will see that even the entity declined imbalances once again. I have mentioned that last week it would happen because it was obvious that the market maker is not accumulating, indicating he is not expecting the next bull run. Otherwise, he will do that. He is not doing it. So what we see at the moment is here those almost 17,000 bitcoins to spot exchanges, not derivative, while the whole stablecoin activity maintains almost flat today. We had a lot of activity yesterday, inflows, outflows. I have mentioned even yesterday that I was noticing, I think that was on Discord sometimes, and maybe that makes sense for all of you, just to join my Discord, because not very frequently, that's something I will start to do again, but bring some more informations to Discord members, because it's, you know, it has much more a community flair. You can interact with your Discord members much easier than on Twitter, for example. So if you like to have some discussions, I have seen and I checked many Discord members are bringing a lot of awesome and valuable input to the community. So just feel free and jump in, because sometimes I'm really bringing there some stuff. And I have mentioned that I was noticing, for example, at certain altcoins like Atom. Atom is one alt that's following 1-to-1 Bitcoin, for example. Genesis report Q1 2022, you can check that. Mentioned once Atom as one altcoin on the list of institutionals. So it's not surprising me that Atom, for example, is following Bitcoin. At the same time, I have noticing not really a sell-off, but bigger distribution on Quant and even on Luxo. That's really crazy. Just check the volume, for example, on KuCoin, and check the chart. They front-run a little bit, so I was expecting something is coming in, and that explains also why those bigger stablecoin outflows, but it also correlates with the stablecoin inflows, because if someone is selling, someone needs to buy, otherwise the price will drop very hard. And so that's usual market rules. You will also always find as a seller a buyer. That's the thing. So no bigger outflows related to Bitcoins today. We had, you remember, just yesterday, for example, a bigger one of 6,000 Bitcoins, and that's it since then. So since then, we are also here almost flat. And that's it. Let us go forward. So let us see what's happening to the future markets. First of all, Wow. Well, I mean, at least the funding rate looks extremely volatile at the moment. So up, down, and up. Up, 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 indicating they're demanding much more longs than shorts at the moment. Even if the price doesn't look like, right? But that's usual. When the price starts to decline, many bulls think, well, it's the local bottom, let us long. To be honest, I'm longing. I'm longing since 23,700 because I was expecting a bounce there. However, we need to be very careful. And yes, I would expect the last bull trap before we go down. I don't know if tomorrow, Wednesday, I have also tweeted about the just incoming economic events or data, and that could be a trigger. Because even if the markets were ignoring any kind of bad news, I don't know why, I think it's time to take this data now very serious. And it will have a bigger market price impact. So let us take a look. Open interest, lifted up, declined. Even if it's lifting up at the moment, but not big. I have mentioned even the price dumps correlates very well to the open interest and leverage ratio. So also here, in my opinion, that's just a little, I don't know if I would say a bear trap. I wouldn't say that's a bear trap. That's just, we are in the channel. That's a downward trend channel. And of course, we are retesting the lower trend line. But, I would like to see again a rising open interest while we can see as well a rising leverage ratio, something that's not happening at the moment. So if we take a look here, the leverage ratio, it's not really rising up at the moment. If we check, for example, and let me close that here. So open interest, leverage ratio high. What happened afterwards? Yeah, we went down. Here, open interest, leverage ratio high. What happened afterwards? Of course, we dumped. Leverage ratio, open interest, rise. What happened afterwards? Of course, we dumped. Open interest, leverage ratio high. What happened afterwards? Of course. And the same story again here. While it looks like it's much more important, the open interest, than the leverage ratio. So what these guys are expecting all the time is to collecting late longs, even if it's not high leverage, and then hammer. That's what they are doing. I don't know why whales should have a big benefit on it, but, it's what it is. I'm just the messenger and analyst. I don't know why they are doing that. If you are asking my opinion, you are asking my opinion. Okay, I don't think that's the ways, because I would see much more exchanges to have a benefit to liquidate these futures, because that's just their cash cow at the moment, as we know. And we can go just for a second directly to the market or centralized exchange activity, and we see, look that, it keeps declining, and even on futures. So, where to generate money if not with fees? Well, I guess liquidating your own clients. I know I don't have any proofs, and it's only my opinion. So if we go forward, we can check here, for example, we had yesterday, no, it was this morning, bigger stablecoin outflows from derivative exchanges, taking profit almost 320 million US dollars in Tether. That's huge. That's really huge. 320 million, that's wow. I don't remember when we had such a big amount. That's at least a while. At the same time, bigger stablecoin inflows, but almost not that close of volume. 116 millions here and another 100 million here. It's big, it's okay, but not that big. At the same time, we remember yesterday we had here almost 10,500 bitcoins inflow related to derivative exchanges, but at the same time and 1 hour later, we had 12,000 bitcoin outflows. So indicating, in my opinion, they did 10,500 in to make the operation, and they did a gain almost of, let me check, 1,500 bitcoins in 1 hour. That's okay. I mean, if I could make this, I would do that every day. Every day. 1,000, just imagine, 1,500 bitcoins every day. That would be extremely cool. But no, I can do that. Unfortunately not. However, yeah, looks great. Let us go forward. I had some problems with the Kingfisher. I don't know why exactly, but maybe before we go forward directly to the blockchain whispers, let us check what here on the daily is happening. Well, the daily doesn't make any sense, unfortunately, here because it's not live ticker, it's not live data, so it's indicating us what happened yesterday. It's interesting, but in my opinion, not good enough. So the only thing that's really interesting here, open interest, is lifting up. So it's also in a trend that's lifting up. And the funding rate, the purple line here, maintains relatively neutral, so between 0 and 0.01. And we have the leverage ratio, and you see the leverage ratio is extremely high. So while we maintain this high leverage ratio, in my opinion, we will dump even more. Let us go forward and check what's happening here, because that's even, it's only Binance, but for me the most interesting part here, because we can see that, as mentioned, open interest and at the same time the leverage ratio, in that case here purple line, and open interest again yellow. Every time we had that, every time we dumped afterwards. We dumped. At the moment, as you see, we need to go up. And every time when the open interest rised, what happened before? Yes, of course. We lifted up. Pumping before we dumped afterwards. So that's something I would expect as well this time. So let the open interest and leverage ratio go up again, while indicating, hey, we will go to retest that area 25k again. Many bulls will say, hey, okay, come on, 3 times, 4 times we failed, but now it's the 5th time. I know the 5th time it's going to work. And yes, this time it's going to work, but only until 25,400 or something, and then down. So at the moment, that's my opinion. We will see. However, let us go forward and check what's happening here. Wow, look that. Isn't that nice? Wow, I love that. I really love that. Because 67 to 33 or 66 to 34, it doesn't matter. That's incredible bearish in my opinion, because exchanges are not the Red Cross. They are not waiting to give you money for free. Absolutely not. And they will hunt this one for sure. And many are expecting 28k, even 32k. I would be extremely careful with that. Even here, the Ethereum, you remember all the time they were so extremely bearish, and I was right. Ethereum declined to 1880 and lifted up afterwards. That was just a level I was expecting a few days ago, you remember. However, doesn't care. I did good gain with my short on Ethereum a few days ago, so I'm absolutely fine with that. And we will see right now that that's really huge. That's really huge, and in my opinion, it will even go to 2 billions if they pump. The problem I see here is even shorts will start to rise, but that's something very common. As soon as the price lifted up, some traders start to flip to shorts again, something I will do either. So we need to see. I still hope that some FOMO keeps there, so we can even accumulate some more longs and then afterwards dump. For the exchanges, it would make more sense to dump from here, directly from here. Nobody would expect that. Just nuke it and they would liquidate a lot of longs. Something it's not going to happen. I had some problems with the Kingfisher. Let us see if it's working. Okay, spin and win. Let us see if it works. I don't know. I have some problems today. Okay. Let us start with Binance, because it was saying no data available. Then it says no credits. You can see I have still 22 credits. So usually it should charge my credit account. Yeah, not enough funds. Failed to load map. Doesn't make sense. I don't know what's happening today with the Kingfisher, but unfortunately I can't show you the Kingfisher. However, I think that the future market is looking also extremely bullish, or not really bullish, because we know the market always do the opposite, so very bearish, but taking into account the funding rate, taking into account some other data, like for example the open interest and the funding rate, the leverage ratio, it maintains relatively low, so we need to push up first so that we can have a bigger open interest and maybe even leverage ratio before we dump afterwards again. So let us go forward to the next chapter. To see what option traders are doing. Gamma wall still 25,000. We had yesterday a call wall of 1.3. Now we have 1.2, indicating they are reducing a little bit this call wall. Interesting, but nothing useful, because we know 25k is going to be a big challenge if we want to break out this area to the upside. The GAX maintains like yesterday. It's in the area of 62,000, indicating we have much more space to the downside than to the upside. You can see that the GAX is lifting up with the price. Usually I would expect a bigger dump, a bigger dump. You can see what happened last time. I mean, we were here at 45,000 and we dumped from 30k then after to 18, and now we are even higher. So we will see. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Let us go forward and check what traders are trading at the moment. So we can see long strangle, custom strategy, bull call spread, all the same strategies like yesterday. Okay, long strangle in premium 840k, that's big. Custom strategy 830k. Beer put spread 325k. And reverse call calendar 220k. So in my opinion, the first three would make sense just to check, but let us see what the notional is indicating. The notional, wow, long strangle 80 millions, custom strategy 9 millions, 5.7 millions, bull call spread, bear put spread 3.6 millions. So nothing big, to be honest. Absolutely nothing big. And let us go forward and check. 1 day. By the way, if you're noticing it, I have tuned a little bit my microphone, so maybe you are noticing a better quality. If so, give me a feedback, because that would be great to know that's working fine. So let us go forward and check here. First of all, long strangle, 750 lots, 80 millions, 800,000 in premium. Nice. We will check. Custom strategy, 390 lots, almost 9 millions, 800,000 in premium. Nice. We will check. Bull call spread, 240 lots, not a big deal. 5.7 million in notional and only 29,000 in premium. That's not big at all, but we will check. And beer put spread, I would say, and that's it. We have then 4, and that should be enough. Okay, then let us go forward. So let us start with the long strangle, and we know the long strangle, that's, it seems, the most traded strategy at the moment. So to profit from it, the trader is expecting a sharp price move, either up or down. That's something he don't care about, because he is making a bet for a sharp price move. And we need to see what's indicating here. Wow. Okay, so until end of October, he's expecting a price above of 30k or below of 20k, end of October. For end of March 2023, a price above of 50k or a price below of 15k. And related to option premium, that's big. I mean, that's not huge, but it's big. That's 1 here and 1 here. They spent almost 800,000 for those 2 trades. And that's big. That's really big. So, okay, but not really useful, because he is just saying, hey, we can go up, we can go down. Okay, I can say the same, but it's not going to be useful for us. So let us go forward and check their bear put spread. Let us go forward with the bear put spread and what it means. First of all, the bear put spread, of course, it's a strategy that's not bullish. And usually that means it's much more oriented to bearish price actions, because that's where he profit is going to be generated. This maximum profit is realized if the Bitcoin price is at or below the strike price of the short put. Lower strike. So let us check what this trader is expecting. First of all, end of the year, below 15k. Oh. Below 15k. Huh. Below 70k. The only thing or problem, it's not short term. It's until end of the year. It's interesting, but in that case, also here, not really useful. And if we check, for example, that here, that's the bigger premium trade, at least, with 50 lots each. So 100 in total. He spent almost $280,000 for that. He's expecting until end of the year a price below of 17k. Means not only retest our current bottom, but maybe even go lower. You know, I have mentioned I was calling 24K last year. Many people laughed at me. Like many people laughed at me when I said that's going to be a fake rally. I don't trust it. I don't. Or you are a perma bear, and so usual stupid comments in my opinion. And they laughed at me. They said, you will never ever see Bitcoin below 30K again. And then we have seen 24K. I was celebrating it because I just said, wow, Inspo, you said that since a year that's going to happen. And then afterwards we did 18K. That was surprising me. Now I'm saying we will see a price between 10 and 12,000. Not next month, maybe even not in 3 months. I don't know when, but it will happen. And the bottom is not in. Mark my words. You can laugh at me. That's fine. But that's what I think. So let us go forward and check what's going to happen here next. Bear put spread looking extremely bearish, of course. Then we have custom strategy. That's usually not really... Oh, Jesus. Not really... Oh, but big. At least these one are big. Not really useful because nobody knows exactly what they are playing. So we see here they sold puts 26K, they buy puts 16K. Okay. But nobody knows what does that mean, really. So are they expecting, for example, a volatility until end of the year between 26 and 16? It's possible. I really don't know, but as you can see, we have even here multi-leg. So here calls 24, 27, then puts 20, 26, 16 different times. And here another one, 17 to 19. So lower levels. And that's not that low, to be honest, in volume. So we need to see. We really need to see, but at least that's something George would start to research here and to check if he can figure out if they are selling some volatility or something. I can't tell you that, but in my opinion, that doesn't really look very bullish. However, let us go forward. Unfortunately, custom strategy is really hard. I mean, the only thing we can say is, okay, they both put 16K, they sold puts 26K. But we don't know exactly what's behind. So, bull call spread would be the next and last one. And the bull call spread, you know the bull call spread because it's a trade strategy that is, well, that let at least the trader expect a little bullish price action. So nothing big, but at least, yeah, just a little bit more slightly bullish. Like the bear put spread, the bull call spread is exactly the opposite. So to make the maximum profit here, Bitcoin has to realize a price at or above the strike price of the short call expiration. And if we take a look, it means 25 until end of August. Oh, that's Friday. No, that's not even Friday. Yeah, that's Friday. Or end of August, 25.5, or even Friday, 26K. Well, we need to say the only one that would, in my opinion, where I would say, yeah, that's interesting, is this one, just because of the premium. But even then, it's not that really big. I mean, he spent $3,000 on that trade, and he spent, yeah, a little bit more, so almost $3,700, so not big at all. And even this guy, 21 grand. So it's fine, it's nice, And it would even match if we do until Friday a price above of 25.5. Not part of my plan, because I was thinking we could go down maybe Thursday if DXY is going to push up, but we will see. Maybe I'm wrong. However, we are done here. Let us go forward. So what is driving the market at the moment? We have a 5 minutes time frame at the moment, not really useful to see much more what's happening. What we can see at the moment here, and let me check the 30 to 30 minutes, it makes more sense. My display and 30 minutes. So what we see here is what FTX is, for example, doing. FTX, like Bitfinex, for example, are really in sell mode. They declined, distributed a lot, lifted up, pushing the price up again, and declined even more, like we can see at the moment. And that's why we maintain that price area of 23,800. We are slightly above of 23,800. In my opinion, we will go up even more, and you can see they are pushing and supporting that price action, while the aggregated spot CBD looks bearish, because they are really, 12,000 bitcoins and CBD within a week. That's big. At the same time, Bitcoin margin contracts are lifting up. I have mentioned that, unfortunately, on my Discord as well. That's usual what they do when they are selling spot and longing with Bitcoin collateral just to hedge. So it wouldn't surprise me. Look what futures are doing here. And that's stablecoin futures. They are also declining. So at the moment we can see, and let us go forward and check what's happening here. It seems I need to refresh all. So 30 minutes. Let us see what Bitfinex is doing, because I think Bitfinex is the main driver at the moment of the Bitcoin margin contracts. Look what Bitfinex is doing since almost 2 weeks. That's, for Bitfinex at least, big. So what they did is just almost 7,000 bitcoins just in CBD, cumulative volume delta. That's big. For Bitfinex, that's really big. At the same time, aggregated futures declining, but at the same time, and that matches even in timing, as you can see, because it was declining all the time, and then it flipped and they start to long again. So look at that. From timing, matches very well, indicating that Bitfinex is selling, hedging with Bitcoin margin contracts, and that means they are just preparing, in my opinion, the next big dip trade. So dump, nuke, whatever, buy again, go up again. And that's going to be a big one. So let us go forward and check. What's doing Coinbase? Well, you can see what Coinbase is doing. As usual, they are more in the buy side. They are buying. So they bought here almost 9,000 bitcoins, at least also here related or based on CBD. Let us go forward and check what the market maker is doing. And as mentioned, let us start with retailers. Retailers stabilize. They are not buying that big anymore. Shrimps, exactly the same. little whales with entities or wallets with 10 to 100 bitcoins lifted up a little bit, nothing big, also not a big accumulation happening here. Then we have those whales with wallets with 100 to 1000 bitcoins. Those guys, yeah, they lifted up, maintain, but this level didn't accumulate big at all. And then we have our market makers, and market makers classified or labeled by Inspocrypto. So that's not the official title of these entities, but after I have spent some time making a big analysis of all these entities, I have noticed that these entities are the best in timing, trade behavior. It looks like these guys have insider information, and they are the main drivers. They are the main initiators of fake rallies, like they did, for example, last year. Let us go a little bit more back so we can see that. And you will see here the huge accumulation they did, just absorbing from weekends after we reached our bottom last year. Take a look to that. And now compare it to what they are doing right now. And then tell me that this market looks bullish to you. I don't hear anything. No. Really, I mean, for me, these guys are a really important indicator, and they are not accumulating. They did quick accumulations to nuke afterwards, and they did it again. And we received this morning 16,000 bitcoins to spot exchanges. I don't think they sent them just to let their bitcoins make some vacation on, I don't know, Coinbase, Binance, FTX. So we need to be very careful. Even I think we will go up a little bit more. At least I would expect a bull trap, but these guys are really, really good in trade behavior. If we check, for example, other entities, you can see these guys are not really the best in trade behavior. They both when the price was rising, even the tops, but they sold also the bottoms, so not really big. Even these guys, for example. And I mean, these guys are not that bad, really not. I mean, if we check, for example, at the moment, this part here, and the price, the Bitcoin price is here, the yellow one, you will see how it correlates. Very interesting, very well. However, these guys are from trade behavior not the best. The best are still the king, those I labeled market maker. If we check this one, I wouldn't say these guys are the best. But they missed last year to buy the dip, and now they are buying a lot of dip because, you know, nothing can go wrong, it seems. Whatever. And even these guys here, not the best in trade behavior as well. And then we have those here, 80%, I would say almost 80% are linked to centralized exchanges. They are wallets linked to Binance, Coinbase, Bitfinex, Deribit, and so on and so forth. And that's it. Let us go forward. I have changed the colors of my training light again. I don't know, sometimes I really, I don't know why I'm changing them all the time, but I like their colors, and that's the standard default color combination. I like them as well, so don't be surprised. I hope that's not a big problem for you. However, we can see Coinbase next bigger exchange wall, it's at 20K. While the next to the upside would be at 28K. So many bulls would say, see, first 28K. Be careful. Be careful. That nobody is saying we will not go to 28K. The question is, First down or first up? That's a big question. Something I can't tell you at the moment, to be honest, but because the month is still long, we still have 2 weeks front of us, and in my opinion, September is going to be a big pain in the ass for many. However, if we check much more, we will see that Coinbase liquidity is locking at 75. So my interpretation would be, hey, guys, we can dump all the way down, doesn't matter, but that's my limit. Okay, from here, I will do everything to avoid to go even more to the downside. Let us go forward. Deribit. I have mentioned that Deribit is here, for example, at 25,500. It wouldn't surprise me if Bitfinex is going to do exactly the same, to be honest. But Deribit is limiting the way up at 25,500. And something I have tweeted about, look that. They really, like Bitfinex, they just removed all walls. So we can go straight to the downside. If we check a little bit more, we see they are even here at 27.7, just limiting the way to the upside. We can check that again. I don't know why it takes now a little bit. Wow, okay. And now we can see that, right? So last time they did exactly that here, and you can see what they are doing. So it wouldn't surprise me that we go first down, then up. But first a bull trap necessary, in my opinion. Bitstamp. Nothing. At 26 it seems, but really absolutely nothing. And otherwise here 22.7, so absolutely peanuts. Absolutely peanuts. Binance Spot. You can see how accurate they bounced here. How accurate. That was extremely accurate. The question is, are we going more again to retest that area? Usually not. If you see such kind of orders, usually they don't want to let the price go down. They let the price go down, but in a way that's for them under control. We will see, but it looks like. So I wouldn't expect the next rush to the downside, to be honest. If we check here, they reduced here 25k the volume. The next bigger volume would be at 15. That would be the next bigger one. Otherwise, we don't have anything. Even here, they removed the wall at 28k. So also here, nothing big. And you can see that the price is now lifting up again after it bounces here at that order. But however, they are still in distribution, and that's why the price is always trying to go more to the downside. The demand is styling at the moment. Bitfinex Spot. Bitfinex Spot limiting the way up at 24,400 even. So it seems they don't want to let the price go up to 25. Now you can say, Inspo, look that. I mean, the volume, 57 Bitcoin, 73. Yeah, the thing is they are using also perp for that. So it's much more an indication. It's much more giving me another kind of information. It's much more the sentiment of Bitfinex weights, for example. We know that Bitfinex weights were closing longs, and it would match. It would match that these guys are distributing and they want to go down again just to buy the dip and go up afterwards. However, you can also see here they are playing with orders. Right now 160 bitcoins here, right now pushing the price much more, a little bit more to the downside, it seems. That's why you see this kind of flash orders. That's something that you see sometimes in other exchanges, but it's classic Bitfinex, and that's why I would never ever trade on Bitfinex, for example. I don't like what I see on Bitfinex, to be honest. However, anyway, the next bigger things here, 26,000, as you can see, and here at 22,000. But also here, if we try, or if we check the bigger exchange walls, starts at 20,000, or here 21,200. So let us go to FTX Perp. What is FTX doing? Well, first of all, they are limiting the way up at 24,500 like Bitfinex. That's really interesting. At 25,000, at 25,500, at 25,800, and that's it. That's absolutely it. If we check, yeah, that's it. So no bigger walls to the upside, and only to the downside, 18k. That's it. FTX. FTX, should we say FTX BlackRock from now on? Yeah, BlackRock rules, it seems. So let us go forward. Kraken, limiting the way down at 23k and at 27,400. We have different walls here as well, but nothing big. And that was spot, by the way. BitMEX. BitMEX, next wall, they reduced their walls at 27.7. So then next to the downside would be at 17.2. That's really interesting that they started to remove, it seems, some walls to the downside. Binance Futures, limiting at the moment the way at 23,500, but at the same time at 25,300. So we remember 25,300, 25,400, 25,500. So they are expecting something, otherwise they wouldn't place these orders there, in my opinion. They reduced here the wall at 21k, and the next big one, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, also to be honest, that's perp. So it wouldn't surprise me if they remove these walls, for example, even here, this wall. That's something on perp we need to be very careful. Spot is much more accurate than perp. At the moment we have our POC here at 24k. We didn't retest the POC yet, so we need to see if we are going to the upside, but as you see, they are trading, at least we see that 23,500 should be a solid protection to the downside. So at least on Binance Perp, everything below 23,600 is not going to work yet. Bitfinex derivatives. Bitfinex derivative is limiting the way up at 24,300 again. And you remember Deribit did exactly the same. Look. They removed all these bigger walls, and maybe you see what's happening. They placed a lot of little tiny buy orders. At the same time, they removed, for example, that one here, and at the same time, they still waiting here at 18,600 to 18,400. So if we reduce a little bit more, we can see, well, not that big. Maybe. Oh, because I can see here. You see tiny, I don't know why they are doing that, but I think that's something related to algos to drive those, or I don't know, to be honest. But they remove the walls here as well. Kraken futures, nothing. And last but not least, FTX spot. And FTX spot, oops. FTX spot, yeah. What happened here to my lines? Okay, however, FTX spot also here indicating they are limiting the way down at the moment between 23,650 and 23,565. So they are blocking their way, indicating, so hey, if we go down here to the trend line, that's fine, but it's not part of my plan to let you just dump more. So on the other side, we can go up to 24,200. So it seems, I'm not sure if today is going to be very an exciting day. At the same time, they are waiting here at 27,300. Not big, at least they reinforced here the wall, but as mentioned, nothing big. To the downside, nothing, just really nothing. So the next bigger wall, as you see, absolutely nothing. And that's it. That's absolutely it. So let us see and talk about my personal conclusion. Wow, so many lines and wow, okay. So let us check first of all what's happening here. Wow, take a look. What happened here? Wow. SPY, SPX, moon next. Why not? However, Bitcoin didn't follow at all. Well, that's crazy. That's really crazy. While if you check here, that's the volume delta, not the cumulative. That's the volume delta. It's showing you the current volume delta based on the 1 hour candle. 7,883 bitcoins, while the total volume on Binance was 10,108 bitcoins. That's big. That's really big. However, they did just a progress of 23,700 to 23,900, so almost $300 or something. That's nothing. That's peanuts. That's because other exchanges, for example, were selling, like Bitfinex, like FTX, and so on and so forth. So at the moment they are selling again, it seems. Let me check. Yeah, 2,400, 2,300. That's really a very useful indicator in my opinion, but you can see how many red bars. Even here, 10,200 bitcoins. So they are distributing, and Bitcoin looks so extremely bearish. They are not even following SPY, SPX. Instead, still in distribution. Still in distribution. That's crazy. So, however, I don't want, yeah, I mean, only because it looks that bearish, usually the market afterwards makes the opposite, right? So, at the moment, we have here a nice support area, and that's what we are retesting. However, if SPY, SPX starts to dump, wow, Bitcoin would nuke, because even if they pushed that hard to the upside, Bitcoin didn't follow. Now imagine what would happen here. I mean, that's crazy. And they are really using it just to distribute all the time. So my expectations here, we know we have at 24,500. So let us say at that area, we have a lot of exchange walls. So we still have the channel. However, we can go here down again, and then we should start to go up in my opinion, retest that area, go even more up, retest that area, fail, and then start to go down again. That's the only scenario I have at the moment. Only if these exchange walls disappear, only if these guys are distributing all the time, only because they want to buy big afterwards. That's also a possibility. If that's the case, they could go up straight, for example, here to 25,400. Something where still my trend line is waiting in this bigger channel, and we didn't hit yet, as you can see. I mean, it's following very well, but we didn't hit that yet. So that would be also something I could imagine to see. Otherwise, we have this trend line here. Otherwise, I would expect go down, retest. I mean, 23,600 is here. So it would trigger here my stop loss, and I would short from here. So it would trigger my stop loss. My long would be close. I would start as soon as it's failed here, and it goes, as soon as it's failed here, I would initiate my short here and then go to the downside, something I wouldn't expect, because that's what they do. They love to start bull traps before. They did that here, they did that here, and every time before we go straight to the downside, for example, I mean, we went here from 24,200 to 20,700, and they pushed up very hard to go down afterwards. And that's what they love to do. So I would expect such kind of thing once again. We see here my trend line. Let me, oh Jesus, so many lines. I can take this out here, I think, or at least reduce. Yeah, let us make 15. 15 is nice, and also here 15, and that's perfect. Okay, so we are still in that trend line here. My expectations would be really go up to those 25,500, for example, would be extremely nice bull trap in my opinion. Even we can go up a little bit more. The next bigger one would be, for example, here at 26,900. I am not sure, to be honest, if the market would be ready to go that much, but everything is possible. Many would say, yeah, and look, we have here 28,000 and we have here at 27, also some opportunities. Everything would be possible. I don't think so that we will have do that, but we need patience. However, at the moment we are here just following this trend line. It seems, at least as I'm longing at the moment, I hope we will bounce here and go up again, retest that area, and in my opinion afterwards it should retrace, fail once again, because we did we tried, but we didn't went that high. So let us say third time fail and then go directly down, and then we need to see what's going to happen in that area here, and we are talking about 21 to 21,500 at least, yeah, and then we need to see what's going to happen next. Okay, so however, the next few days could be very volatile. We need to be very careful with our trades, high leverage and so on. Mainly for me, that's going to be a big challenge, because I'm only trading with, at least not with high volume anymore. And so need to adapt a little bit more my leverage. And that's something that could be very, very, it could be a problem. So hopefully Bitcoin will, at least this time, because I don't know, many say I'm too bearish. To be honest, every time when I started to long this market, it was extremely pain, and I'm much more successful just shorting it, because as mentioned just yesterday in my analysis and the intro, the market and environment of the market, so not only the market itself but the economy, geopolitical situation, looks more in favor of shorting the market than of longing it. So I'm just longing it with my expectations that we will go up a little bit, because we are still in that range here. And if it's not going to happen, that's absolutely fine for me. Then I will flip. But I'm still thinking that we have a great opportunity here. Just, we went down, we bounced, we went up, we went down, we bounced, we retested that area, we went down, we went up again, we went down, and so on and so forth. So I would at least expect to go up again and maybe afterwards down directly, but we will see. It's really too early, and that's not a big thing, that's more intraday look. If we go much more further, then we see that we have here bigger POC, and they will try, at least I hope, to retest that area 24K where we have the POC. If we miss that one, we will go directly to 23K where we have the next one. In my opinion, we should go here, because that's not a gap, but we have a gap in volume here, so usually they would try to refill that one at 22,400, and then our lower trend line at 20,800 or 21,000 would also match very well to some option trades we have seen in the recent days and weeks. However, we will see what's going to happen. I don't trust this market at all, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if we are going to nuke directly from here, for example. We need to see. So we are there, at least for exchanges. They want our money. That's, for me, absolutely clear. So I don't like to use stop loss at all, and it wouldn't surprise me if they trigger my stop loss, for example, and then push up hard afterwards. That happened in the past. And as you see, Bitcoin at the moment looks absolutely everything but not bullish at all. Absolutely not. And not since yesterday or today. However, I hope you enjoyed my analysis. Trade carefully. We will talk to us tomorrow again. Big love. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Your Inspo.